Kelly Ripa and David Muir both work at ABC, but at completely different times. He's worked at the station since 2003 and became the lead anchor on World News Tonight in 2014. Meanwhile, Kelly Ripa took over Katie Lee Gifford on Live with Regis and Kathy Lee in 2001. She became the lead host after Regis Philbin retired in 2011. Kelly Ripa currently co-hosts Live with Kelly and Mark with her husband, Mark Consuelos. The couple first met in 1995 when he joined All My Children as Mateo Santos. Kelly Ripa's character, Haley Vaughn, fell head over heels for Mateo, just as she did for Mark Consuelos. They married in Las Vegas in 1996. Besides her husband of nearly 30 years, there's another important man in Kelly Ripa's life, David Muir. He became close friends with Kelly Ripa and her family after Kelly sent him an email praising his appearance on the nightly news. The ABC anchor often joins the family on their vacations. He's also a regular guest on Kelly and Mark's daytime show. During one recent appearance, David Muir and Kelly Ripa shocked the audience with their plans to retire together. Keep reading for all the details. Kelly Ripa reveals NSFW photos involving David Muir. Kelly Ripa was beyond happy to see her friend when he came on the talk show earlier this week. She gave him a hug and told him she was going to call him Commander Handsome from now on. Mark Consuelos wasn't jealous of the interaction. In fact, he seemed equally smitten by the ABC News anchor. Kelly Ripa revealed that they have unfettered access to David Muir in the studio, including a photo of him. "I have some very indecent photos of me standing in front of your picture that I can't show on the air because they told me it was not suitable for broadcast," Kelly Ripa admitted to a shocked audience. They talk retirement plans. The banter between Kelly Ripa and David Muir continued throughout the segment. They revealed that they've already discussed their next phase together after leaving ABC. Live with Kelly and Mark just moved to a new studio, so it's unlikely Kelly plans to leave anytime soon. David Muir is reportedly under a long-term contract with ABC. But that doesn't mean they can dream. Instead of returning to TV after leaving their respective shows, Kelly Ripa and David Muir joked about starting a dog business together so they can walk and talk all the time. The pair are such good friends that Kelly dedicated her memoir to him. She wrote that David Muir is the backbone and moral compass I need sometimes in the dedication page of her book, Live Wire. Starting a dog-sitting business actually sounds like a great way to spend your golden years after retirement. On a breezy Thursday morning, Live with Kelly and Mark took a heartfelt detour from its usual light banter and celebrity glam when Kelly Ripa welcomed a very special guest, her longtime friend and news anchor heartthrob, David Muir. The studio audience erupted as the sharp-suited ABC News anchor strolled onto the set, giving Kelly a warm hug and exchanging a few teasing quips with Mark Consuelos. But no one expected what came next. About midway through the segment, just after a joke about David's immaculate hair and Kelly's refusal to ever wear comfortable shoes, Kelly dropped a question that made the studio fall silent. So, she began, narrowing her eyes playfully. "Have you ever thought about retiring together?" Mark nearly choked on his espresso. "Wait, are you two announcing something?" David laughed, looking genuinely caught off guard. "That depends. Are we talking about retiring from our careers, or just from functioning as responsible adults?" Kelly grinned. "Maybe both." And with that, a surprisingly candid, wildly entertaining conversation unfolded between the two longtime friends, one America's morning darling, the other its most trusted evening voice, about what their joint retirement might actually look like. The pact? Kelly leaned forward, serious but smiling. "David and I made a pact years ago. If we both hit the wall emotionally, professionally, or fashionably, we'd disappear into the wilderness together. No press release, no farewell special. Just poof." David nodded. "We'd ghost the entire industry. One day I'd be reading the news, and the next, vanished. Gone full Bigfoot." Mark blinked. So you're telling me there's a future where I roll over in bed and find out you've run off with David Muir to a mountain cabin? Not run off, Kelly corrected, retreated with dignity. David jumped in. To be clear, it's a tasteful mountain retreat. There's Wi-Fi and an espresso machine. And a wine cellar. We're not animals. The plan? Kelly pulled out a folded paper from beneath her mug. I actually wrote out our joint retirement itinerary. David looked horrified but intrigued. Oh no? Is there a timeline? She nodded. It's color-coded. The audience leaned in as Kelly read from the page. Week 1. Sleep until noon. No alarms, no emails. No Instagram. David applauded. Already better than any vacation I've had. Week 2. Learn to make homemade pasta from scratch. You're in charge of sauce, obviously. I'm honored, David replied. Can I wear an apron with my name on it? You'll be required to. Mark raised his hand. Do I get to come visit this pasta heaven? Kelly waved him off. You'll be in Spain by then, living your flamenco fantasy. Fair enough. She continued. Week 3. Binge watch every season of Murder, She Wrote, and pretend we're solving real crimes. David laughed. I've been preparing for that since 1992. Retirement anxiety, sort of. The lighthearted tone took a slightly more honest turn when Kelly asked David if he actually could imagine retiring. The evening anchor, known for his intensity and tireless work ethic, took a thoughtful breath. You know, he said slowly, I think about it more than I admit. But the truth is, it's hard to let go. This job becomes part of your identity. The rhythm, the pressure. It's oddly addictive. Kelly nodded. Same. Even when I fantasize about quitting, I wonder who I'd be without the 5 a.m. wake-ups and the spanks. But that's why the mountain cabin is key, David added. We'd need that total separation. Otherwise, I'd be sneaking new scripts into our wine cellar and live reporting from the back deck. Kelly cackled. And I'd be setting up a fake studio just to interview you about how your pasta sauce is ruining our retirement. What they'd actually do, pressed by Mark, and the increasingly curious audience, David and Kelly revealed what they might really pursue if they stepped away from the spotlight. David confessed he'd love to open a tiny bookstore/cafe somewhere in New England. Something quiet. Old wood floors. Fireplace in the corner. I'd recommend books and judge your coffee order. Kelly's dream. I want to open a yoga studio for people who hate yoga. Like, yoga that's mostly lying down. Maybe we stretch once. There's wine at the end. And no mirrors. So, a nap bar? Mark quipped. Exactly, she said proudly. And David's bookstore is right next door. Can we have a secret passage between them? David asked. Obviously, we're not savages. Legacy, friendship, and letting go. As the conversation wound down, things turned sincere. Kelly looked at David, her eyes softer. You've been in my life longer than some of my skincare products, and I genuinely can't imagine not having your voice in the world, on the news or otherwise. David returned the look. And I can't imagine retiring from our friendship, no matter where we are. Whether it's TV or that ridiculous pasta barn I'm in. The audience awed in unison. And I'm keeping this plan, Kelly added, holding up her itinerary. Just in case. You never know when it'll be time to hang up the heels and the headlines. Back to reality, kind of. Mark, always ready with a punchline, ended the segment by pulling out a tiny dog carrier. If you two do retire together, I'm sending Lola the dog to supervise. Someone's got to keep you from turning the espresso machine into a makeshift news studio. Kelly and David laughed, clinking their coffee mugs together. Deal, they said in unison. As the commercial break rolled in, the camera lingered on the two friends, still smiling, still in sync, and perhaps, just maybe, already daydreaming of a future filled with pasta, mystery novels, and well-earned silence. One thing was clear, when David Muir and Kelly Ripa eventually ride off into the retirement sunset, it won't be boring. Let us know in the comments what you think.